But ants aren't the only creatures that have developed sophisticated social systems that involve complex communication and family structures that challenge our understanding of animal intelligence. Parrots name their babies. Among the most remarkable examples of avian intelligence comes from studying how birds develop their complex vocal communication systems. Zebra finches demonstrate sophisticated learning processes that challenge our understanding of how animals acquire language-like abilities. These small songbirds don't instinctively know how to produce the complex songs that define their species. Instead, they learn these intricate vocal patterns through extended practice sessions with adult teachers who serve as vocal mentors throughout their development. Young zebra finches begin their vocal education by producing what researchers call subsong, which sounds remarkably similar to human baby babbling. The juvenile birds make random sounds and vocal experiments as they try to imitate the adult songs they hear around it. This babbling phase can last for several weeks, with young finches practicing different sound combinations and gradually refining their vocal abilities. The learning process involves intense listening sessions where young birds pay careful attention to adult songs and attempt to reproduce specific melodic phrases and rhythmic patterns. The teaching methods adult zebra finches use with their students involve sophisticated feedback systems that help young birds improve their vocal performance. Adult finches will repeat specific song phrases multiple times when teaching, allowing young birds to hear the correct patterns repeatedly. When juvenile finches make progress toward producing accurate song elements, the adults respond with encouraging calls and continued instruction. If young birds struggle with particular song components, the adults break down complex phrases into smaller segments and practice each element separately until the student masters the complete sequence. Research has revealed that zebra finch song learning involves critical periods during development when young birds are most receptive to vocal instruction. Birds that miss these learning windows during their youth often struggle to develop proper songs throughout their lives. The critical period typically occurs when birds are between 30 and 90 days old, and exposure to adult song models during this time is essential for normal vocal development. Young finches raised without proper song teachers during this period often develop abnormal vocalizations that other birds don't recognize or respond to appropriately. The complexity of zebra finch vocal learning extends beyond simple imitation to include creative elements where young birds combine different song components in novel ways. Students don't just copy their teachers exactly. Instead, they often blend elements from multiple adult songs to create their own unique vocal signatures. This creative process allows each bird to develop an individual song identity while maintaining the core structural elements that identify them as members of their species. The balance between imitation and innovation in zebra finch song learning mirrors the way human children learn language by copying adults while also creating their own unique expressions. Different zebra finch populations have developed distinct song dialects that vary based on geographic location and social group membership. Birds from different regions produce songs with recognizable regional characteristics that other finches can identify and respond to accordingly. These dialect differences aren't random variations, but structured patterns that get passed down through generations of vocal learning within specific communities. Young birds learn the dialect patterns specific to their local population, ensuring that regional song traditions continue across multiple generations. The social aspects of zebra finch vocal learning involve complex interactions between multiple adult teachers and student birds within the same community. Young finches don't learn from just one adult teacher. Instead, they listen to and learn from multiple song models within their social group. This exposure to multiple teachers allows young birds to develop more sophisticated vocal abilities and provides them with a broader range of song elements to incorporate into their own vocalizations. The multi-teacher learning system also ensures that song traditions get transmitted accurately, even if individual teachers are lost from the community. Adult zebra finches continue refining their vocal abilities throughout their lives, adapting their songs based on social interactions and environmental changes. Mated pairs often develop synchronized song patterns that strengthen their pair bonds, while males competing for territory might modify their songs to sound more impressive or distinctive. The ongoing vocal plasticity in adult birds demonstrates that song learning isn't limited to juvenile development, but continues as an active process throughout the bird's lives. The neurological mechanisms underlying zebra finch vocal learning have provided insights into how complex communication systems develop in animal brains. Researchers have identified specific brain regions that control different aspects of song learning and production, revealing neural pathways that show remarkable similarities to language processing areas in human brains. The discovery that songbirds and humans use similar neural mechanisms for vocal learning suggests that complex communication abilities may have evolved through comparable biological processes in very different animal lineages. Zebra finch vocal learning research has revealed that these small birds possess cognitive abilities that were previously thought to exist only in much larger and more complex animals. The ability to learn intricate vocal patterns through social interaction practice and creative adaptation demonstrates sophisticated mental processes that challenge traditional assumptions about bird intelligence. These discoveries about avian vocal learning represent just one example of how animals have developed communication systems that operate according to principles we're only beginning to understand. The sophisticated vocal learning abilities found in zebra finches and other songbirds suggest that complex communication systems may be more widespread in the animal kingdom than scientists previously recognized. As researchers develop better methods for studying animal communication, they continue discovering that many species have evolved intricate social coordination systems that enable them to make collective decisions and organize group activities in major decisions efficient ways. Honeybees demonstrate remarkable collective intelligence through sophisticated decision-making processes that have evolved over millions of years. When bee colonies face critical choices like selecting new nest sites, they don't rely on random selection or individual preferences. Instead, they engage in complex group evaluations that involve multiple stages of information gathering and assessment. Recent research has revealed that these tiny insects possess cognitive abilities that allow them to process information, share knowledge, and reach consensus decisions that benefit their entire community. The decision-making process begins when scout bees venture out to explore potential locations for new colonies. These scouts don't just casually examine available sites, they conduct thorough evaluations that include assessing cavity size, entrance, quality protection, from weather and proximity to food sources. Each scout bee must gather detailed information about their chosen location and remember specific features that will be important for the colony's survival and success. The cognitive demands of this evaluation process require sophisticated memory systems and analytical abilities that were previously underestimated in insects. Scout bees communicate their findings through elaborate dance performances that convey precise information about distance, direction, and quality of potential nest sites. These dances aren't simple movements, but complex communication systems that include specific gestures and patterns representing different aspects of each location. The ability to translate spatial information into symbolic dance movements demonstrates abstract thinking capabilities that rival those found in much larger animals. Other bees in the colony must interpret these dance communications and use the information to make informed decisions about which sites deserve further investigation. The verification process involves additional bees visiting the sites promoted by different scouts to independently assess the quality of each option. These inspector bees don't simply accept the original scout's evaluation. Instead, they conduct their own thorough examinations and compare their findings with information presented in the dance communications. This fact-checking system ensures that decisions are based on accurate information rather than incomplete or biased assessments. The ability to cross-reference information from multiple sources demonstrates sophisticated cognitive processing that enables reliable group decision-making. Bees exhibit remarkable flexibility in their decision-making by changing their preferences when presented with new information or better alternatives. Scout bees who initially supported one location will abandon their first choice if they discover superior options during the evaluation process. This adaptability prevents colonies from committing to suboptimal decisions simply because they were made early in the process. The willingness to revise opinions based on updated evidence shows that bees can engage in rational thinking that prioritizes colony welfare over individual consistency. The consensus-building process involves monitoring support levels for different options until a clear preference emerges within the colony. Bees don't rely on arbitrary deadlines or simple majority votes. Instead, they use sophisticated sensing mechanisms to determine when sufficient agreement has been reached to proceed with implementation. This approach ensures that decisions reflect genuine colony-wide consensus rather than hasty choices made without adequate deliberation. The ability to recognize when enough information has been gathered and sufficient agreement achieved demonstrates advanced social cognition. Quality control measures prevent misinformation from influencing the decision-making process through multiple verification steps and transparent communication systems. Scout bees must provide accurate, detailed information about their proposed sites, and any attempts to misrepresent locations get quickly identified through the inspection process. The public nature of dance communications makes it impossible to hide important information or manipulate other colony members through deceptive presentations. This commitment to accuracy ensures that collective decisions are based on reliable facts rather than misleading information. When conflicts arise between equally attractive options, bees have developed procedures for resolving deadlocks without abandoning the decision-making process. Extended evaluation periods allow more scouts to examine competing sites and provide additional information that can help break ties. Sometimes larger inspection teams visit disputed locations to conduct more thorough comparative assessments that reveal subtle differences between options. The ability to handle complex decision scenarios demonstrates sophisticated problem-solving capabilities that enable effective group coordination. Bees can overturn previous decisions and restart the selection process when circumstances change or new information reveals problems with chosen locations. This flexibility allows colonies to adapt quickly to changing conditions rather than persisting with choices that no longer serve their best interests. The willingness to acknowledge mistakes and seek better alternatives shows that bee decision-making involves ongoing evaluation rather than rigid adherence to initial choices. This adaptability has likely contributed to the evolutionary success of social bee species across diverse environments. The efficiency of bee decision-making processes stems from their shared evolutionary interests and focus on practical outcomes rather than individual preferences or competing agendas. Every bee in the colony benefits from finding the best possible nest site, which eliminates conflicts of interest that might complicate human group decisions. The transparent communication systems and verification procedures ensure that all relevant information gets considered during the evaluation process. This combination of shared goals and reliable information processing enables rapid consensus building that produces optimal outcomes for the entire community. The cognitive abilities required for effective collective decision-making include sophisticated memory systems, episodic-like recall, and the capacity to learn through observation of other colony members. Bees can remember detailed information about multiple locations, compare different options based on various criteria, and modify their behavior based on new experiences. These mental capabilities demonstrate that even insects with relatively simple nervous systems can engage in complex reasoning processes when working together toward common goals. The success of bee colonies in making effective group decisions challenges traditional assumptions about the cognitive requirements for intelligent behavior and suggests that collective intelligence can emerge from the coordinated activities of many individuals with relatively modest individual capabilities. These discoveries about animal cognition represent a fundamental shift in how we understand intelligence across species. The 2025 research revealed that complex thinking abilities evolve separately in birds and mammals, which means intelligence isn't some rare accident that happened once, but emerged through convergent evolution at least twice in vertebrate history. Scientists found that avian and mammalian brains developed surprisingly similar neural circuits despite evolving completely independently from each other. The research also confirmed that cephalopods like octopuses have passed cognitive tests originally designed for human children, demonstrating that sophisticated problem-solving abilities can emerge from radically different neural architectures. These discoveries prove that animals have been operating with remarkable mental capabilities that we're only beginning to recognize and understand. Every time you see a crow solving puzzles or watch bees making collective decisions, you're witnessing forms of intelligence that challenge our assumptions about animal consciousness. Start paying attention to the behaviors of animals around you, and you might notice cognitive abilities that science is just starting to document and appreciate.